What's up, everybody? Blaze here with some new information on Pokemon Sun and Moon. Originally announced last week, they showed off a new trailer that went through a bunch of new Pokemon, that went through a bunch of new features, moves, and things like that. So this next video is all about the services of Ride Pokemon. So, as you may have seen, the Pokemon in the trailer actually, it looks like you call forth a Pokemon that you can ride on. So some of the abilities these Pokemon are going to have are the ability to fly, surf in water, walk on rocky terrain. Let's see, Sharpedo surfs fast and can crash into rocks and also jump. Stoutland can sniff to find hidden items, and Tauros can run through and break blocks. So, this very much seems like you'll actually be doing a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? That this will actually replace HMs. Love them or hate them, HMs were abilities in the games previously where you actually use them to cut down, a bush that was blocking your way, to light up a cave. There were different uses for HMs, surfing and flying as well. However, for the most part, fly and surf were the only two moves that were even useful in battle. So most people ended up just filling up their fifth slot with a Pokemon that they didn't ever use, and attaching all 4 or 5 HMs to that Pokemon, which I did it and I don't even care, because some of those moves were completely useless, like Waterfall and Dive and Flash. Surf was a much better move and was more useful. So they kind of started doing that in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. So we kind of got a little bit of a taste of that with the Aeon Flute, being able to fly around with your Pokemon. So that was pretty neat. These Pokemon that you're able to call upon are Pokemon like Charizard, Lapras, Mudsdale, Sharpedo, Stoutland, and Tauros. And you will not be able to add these Pokemon to your party, but you can call upon their services whenever they're needed. So I think that's actually more useful than the actual than the HM moves themselves. And as you can see here, some of the Pokemon are actually doing their moves. There's a few different. This is was this Tauros? I think that's Tauros. Yeah, using his abilities to break through rocks. And as you can see, the rocks are blocking a path here, so you're actually able to bust down those rocks and get to the next area, which means that moves like Rock Break are not needed. So why would they even need that in there? Now, I imagine that some of those moves would actually, you probably still could use them on a Pokemon. Maybe they learn them naturally, like let's say a Machoke would learn Rock Break naturally, and maybe you're even able to use that to break these rocks. Maybe not right away. Maybe you have to beat an Island Challenge in order to even do that. But this would make it easier so that you don't have to have a Machoke in your party in order to use Rock Break. You could just use this Pokemon. You would never have to have any Pokemon that knows Rock Break ever. So that actually would make a lot more sense. Now, I like that a lot more. So then, if we carry on here, we see this one has a move where he's actually able to walk on a rocky path. So that's super useful. I don't know. I think they did that in another Pokemon game. It wasn't. I think it was X and Y where you had to do that as well. But they gave you a Pokemon to do that, so it kind of makes sense. And then the next one here is a Pokemon, Sharpedo. I mentioned that, where he can actually break down rocks in the water and actually jump as well. And then here we have Charizard, which is able to obviously fly, much like your Aeon Flute did in the past, where you're able to fly around. So it is very neat, and I think very useful as far as not having to use certain moves on certain Pokemon in order to progress through the game. So, let me know what you think about this. I don't think there's any issue with HMs being gone. Part of the issue I think that they ran into in the past was that if you didn't have an HM, let's say you were in a cave looking for Mewtwo, and you got to Mewtwo, but you saved your game, and then you realized, oh no, I don't have any Pokeballs. But during the course of getting there, the Pokemon that had Strength, you were able to. They learned a new move, and you got rid of Strength, and you gave it something else. So now at this point, you don't have a move that has strength, and you don't have any escape ropes, and you saved right in front of Mewtwo, so you can't leave. So it made it very much a situation where at that point you couldn't leave. You were stuck in there. Your save data was ruined because you couldn't go anywhere. The only things you could do is use a Game Shark to walk through walls and get to the exit. So, I think this will eliminate that possibility a lot, and I think that I think it's much better that that's how it's going to work out. I think they're going to have to work on the puzzle system a lot more. So if you actually are going into a cave to catch something, that the puzzles and challenges that you face are going to be a lot more creative and a lot more unique. But, the one thing I'm concerned about with this, and, I don't have confirmation on this yet, and it kind of ties into the trials, and it kind of ties into just the overall map and the feel of the game, is that so far I'm worried that this game's going to be a lot shorter than the other games, which is kind of good and kind of bad depending on how you look at it. I loved the gym battles. I loved going through the game. The storylines are the parts that I hated the most, and I'll cover that later on. But I'm very, very hopeful this game is going. I'm hopeful that it's not going to be short, because that's my one concern with this game, is that it's going to be a shorter game with 20 hours of gameplay. That's my concern. So now if there's in-the-game content after you beat the game and you're able to go back and play the game again, maybe with a second storyline or maybe with something else, that would be awesome. But as of right now, it looks like this game is going to be 4 trials and then you're done. And then you fight the champion and you're done. So crossing my fingers that's not the case, and I'm crossing my fingers for a ton of new Pokemon, and even some new forms of old Pokemon too would be wonderful. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe. I'll be back with some more videos. I post videos Monday through Friday on the Pokemon trading card game, and I post videos like this about things coming up soon. Hit that like, subscribe. I'll be back next time.